All right, EB Smalley here with my sixth installment of my series, Top 10 Quarterbacks in the 2020 NFL Draft. Today, I'm going to be talking about Jordan Love out of the Utah State. He's 6'4", 225 pounds. Jordan Love is one of the most interesting prospects in the entire NFL Draft, if you ask me. He's got a lot of potential. He could be a superstar. Um, he has a strong arm, one of the strongest in the class. I think that is due to his extreme body control. He has the ability to throw off platform and off schedule. He's able to contort his body to make accurate throws off balance, and it has earned him many comparisons to Patrick Mahomes. And that's understandable because they have a very similar play style. His mechanics are impeccable. His footwork is great. The way he moves around in the pocket and knows when to exit, and he always keeps his eyes downfield. It's not his first choice to flee the pocket and go for a run. So it's really not surprising that people compare him to Pat Mahomes because of those things. It's easy to fall in love with him when you watch the tape because of these things. He makes some spectacular plays that blow your mind. He has some definite issues, though, that he needs to work on if he wants to be successful as an NFL quarterback. He doesn't work through his reads very well. I think part of that is because of his ability causes him to try to force it into his first read instead of taking a simpler option, an easy option when going through his reads. A lot of people get worried when looking at his stats. They thought 20-17 touchdown to interception ratio. That's not very good. But I don't think that's necessarily because of his accuracy or other things than that. I think it's a combination of that first thing that I mentioned, but also because he was playing hero ball. You watch a lot of those games, and it seemed like he felt the need to put the game on his back, that he had to make all the plays, that he must not have trusted his coaches or the players around him, or honestly, maybe even both. Maybe he didn't trust them, and so he felt the need to try to make a big play instead of taking a simpler option that would have gained him 6 yards, maybe 10 yards, just to move the chains and keep the drive going. He would try to push the ball down the field. I'm not really sure what caused that, but it is a little bit worrisome if you are trying to scout him and decide if he's a prospect that you want to select in the NFL draft to be your franchise. He didn't play up to his competition either. In my study, he had a 4-7 touchdown to interception ratio against opponents in the top 25 in college football. And that was over 2 years. And in those 4 games, he was outscored 169-82. He obviously played rather poorly against superior competition. I know that especially last year he was not surrounded by a lot of good players in his offense. A lot of missed opportunities, a lot of miscommunications were things that I saw when watching the tape, which is unfortunate because it could have severely hurt his draft stock when he could have been a very highly sought, which he is, but even he'd be more in the conversation with Tua and Joe Burrow, for, being a top 3 pick. It still could happen, but it definitely hurt his stock having seen those things. He's not a home run prospect. He's not like Joe Burrow, who is a guaranteed prospect or Tua, who is what you see is what you get. You're probably going to get somebody like Dak Prescott, who's going to be able to, or Kirk Cousins, in my opinion, who is going to be able to uh, be a winner on your team. Will he be astounding? I personally don't think so, but a lot of people think he has a lot of potential. But really, what made Patrick Mahomes so successful was his drive and his work ethic. He had a desire to be the greatest, and that's what made all of those potential negatives that so many scouts saw in Patrick Mahomes made them not matter because Patrick Mahomes put in the work and he made sure that he was uh, the best. He had all the physical tools, but he needed to put some other things together to make himself the best quarterback in the NFL. And I think it's very similar with Jordan Love. He has physical tools, not just in his arm strength, but also in his uh, body control and his spatial awareness of where people are, not only in the pocket, but also in the field, where his wide receivers are, where the defenders are in coverage. He's able to diagnose that instinctually. And so I think it's on him. What kind of person is Jordan Love? Is he the type of person to work hard and to drive himself to be the greatest? Or is he somebody who's going to slack, enjoy the fact that he's now a millionaire and that's good enough, and if he just does good enough, he'll have a decent career, make some money, and be okay? Who is Jordan Love? And unfortunately, I don't get to have interviews with the guy. I can't ask him personal questions trying to figure out who he is. And so I don't really know. I think he has potential to be the best quarterback in this draft class. But he also has a low floor. You know, he could be just like Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel had all those things. But his character was a significant concern. And it's unfortunate, but his career went badly. It's unlikely that he'll be either extreme, Patrick Mahomes or Johnny Manziel, but as long as he's willing to put in work, he could have a very successful career. I think that he will definitely be a first round pick. He has the highest upside in the class, and some people are just not going to be able to live with themselves after they didn't take a chance on Patrick Mahomes a couple of years ago. I think that's going to give some extra motivation to some GMs and coaches. I think some teams that might be interested in him or fall in love with him, pun intended, I guess, or maybe the Chargers. I could see them wanting somebody who could have an explosive offense with their excellent defense. The Raiders, John Gruden, is definitely somebody who could work well with him and help him to overcome his mistakes. And Mike Mayock is somebody who really likes some high upside prospects. Like he was really high on Marcus Mariota. They just brought him into the building. I don't know if they're a serious contender for that. I think that they're happy with their quarterback room where it is right now with Derek Carr and Marcus Mariota. They have two mediocre quarterbacks that they're hoping could grow into more. The Saints had a lot of interest in Patrick Mahomes, but the Chiefs traded ahead of them by a lot and ended up picking Patrick Mahomes. And so I think I could definitely see Sean Payton pulling the trigger this time. He doesn't want to. It's the one that got away. He has another chance at it. I think he definitely could have some interest. Bruce Arians, they have Tom Brady for now, but they need somebody in the future. He's an offensive-minded head coach. I could definitely see that. The Panthers, even though they already signed Teddy Bridgewater and also P.J. Walker, P.J. Walker is not an NFL starter. He did very well in the XFL, but he's still got a lot to learn before he can possibly be an NFL starter. And Teddy Bridgewater is, I don't want to say mediocre because I like the guy a lot. It's amazing his story, but I don't see him as somebody who's going to be starting there for the rest of his career. I don't think it's going to happen. So maybe the Panthers. I could see them already having a top 10 pick. But I definitely think he won't last through picks 5 through 15. But in any case, that was my Jordan Love analysis. And I hope you guys enjoyed it and that you'll leave a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I hope that you all have a nice day.